Trenton 365 with Jacque Howard. Profiling the businesses, organizations, and people that make Trenton better.
Friends, and welcome to another edition of the Trenton 365 Show. I'm your host, Jacque Howard. You can follow us on Twitter at Trenton 365, our Facebook page, Trenton 365 Show, and the website, Trenton365.com. And shortly, that website will be going through an update. I like to keep things fresh as we begin to start our new season, which will be kicking off with the school year in September. So make sure you check that out, Trenton365.com. You're listening to us live over WYMG 1300, the two-time Stellar Award-winning radio station in New Jersey, the capital city, and the oldest radio station in New Jersey as well. You can follow us on Twitter at WYMG 1300 and the Facebook page, WYMG 1300 as well. Website, WYMG1300.com. That is a mouthful, but we've got a lot of information to get to you tonight. I'm glad to have in the studio with me Latarsha Williams Burke, who is the executive director, previously known as the African American Cultural Festival of Trenton, or Trenton African American Cultural Festival. I'm going to get this right. But now it is the African American Cultural Collaborative of Mercer County, all of Mercer County, New Jersey. And Latarsha was just telling me that this is our 6th year of meeting and chatting about this, and I'm absolutely amazed. And Latarsha, welcome back as always.
Thank you for having me, Jacque.
Awesome. And Latarsha, as you can see, is someone who is very connected via technology as well. She's got her Samsung device, just like I do here as well. And she's probably gonna be tweeting and doing some other things during the show. But we've got a lot of information to get to you. And for those of you who are watching, you're watching over WPHY, Channel 25 in Mercer County, New Jersey. Latarsha, first of all, welcome back. It's always a pleasure to see you, and I love everything that you're doing. And in the last, 2 years, you've actually added something to your resume. You're now serving on the board of Artworks Trenton as well.
Yes, I am. But I actually resigned from the Artworks board this year. And I love Artworks. It's an amazing organization. And my time spent with Artworks, I learned a great deal about programs, fundraising, outreach, and it really accented what I do with the Cultural Festival. And I actually had to move on because my hands were very full. I've taken on a 3-year-old. After my 2 are off to college this year, I'm starting all over again. I also serve on the board for the City of Trenton Museum, so I had to let some things go. In addition to running this organization, I had my hands full, so I had to make some tough decisions.
And one of the things that when I first met you was you've got this super calm, cool demeanor. And shout out to your brother as well, Charles, because I think it runs in the family. Charles, I know you're probably, if you're not watching now or listening, you probably will catch the tape of it. But Charles is very much a laid-back, easygoing guy, just like you are.
That could be a positive and a negative.
But you guys are super attractive. You're all about fashion, etc. And you've both done some modeling, etc. And everyone knows how passionate I am about fashion and so forth. And you've tied all this together to be the executive director of the Cultural Collaborative here in Mercer County and Trenton specifically. Talk about how that all came together.
Well, I've been doing this since 2011. I started off as a volunteer. I actually became executive director in 2013. But from 2011, we started off with just the idea of getting the community out to the park to fellowship and celebrate their culture and history. And I recall we started off at one stage, and each year it just grew bigger in the things that we do and in the number of people that attended. Last year we had about 15,000 people. We've gone from one stage to 2 stages to 3 stages to adding a healthy living pavilion, a youth sports expo that we've done for the last four years. This year will be our 4th year doing the youth sports expo. We've added a Trenton Youth Film Festival. We've partnered with the City Museum and given art exhibits. Last year it was Of Color, the African American experience, and this year is Against All Odds, Paul Robeson exhibit. This year we've taken a huge leap. We felt like people really didn't know exactly what we do, the numerous things that we do. And the name Trenton African American Cultural Festival did not encompass everything that the organization did. So what I chose to do was to add what they call an alternate name that would be the umbrella for the organization, which is the African American Cultural Collaborative of Mercer County. We still have the Trenton African American Cultural Festival name because that's our baby, and we will continue doing the festival. But as a group, we made a decision this year to, one, build an organization to handle the growth of the festival. So we've added some new board members, we've added some new committee members. We're pursuing our tax-exempt status because in the past we've used a fiscal sponsor, and we want to get out of doing that. In addition to that, we want to spread what we're doing, and we think that the power that we bring should not be consolidated to Cadwater Park. And so I decided, let's take this throughout Mercer County. So this year, for the first time, we did First Fridays on Front Street. And the reason I wanted to do that, because I noticed that after 5 p.m., there's really nothing going on in downtown Trenton. And the goal was to keep businesses and people in the downtown area to support our local businesses. So we did the First Fridays. We began in May, and we will end in September. It's been very successful. We have live music, live performances, DJ. The Trenton Downtown Association supports us by providing us with tents and tables and chairs. 1911 Smokehouse Barbecue. Owner Maurice Hallett, he's been great to us. He actually is a sponsor, so we are able to eat outside, drink outside, just have a really great time with just, interacting with each other and just enjoying each other.
Mm-hmm. And I love the fact of this festival has constantly been in a state of evolution. Mm-hmm. And I remember one of the first times that we chatted about it, you said that this isn't something that we're putting together and it's going to be one time, and it's going to constantly change. Like,
Right.
the adding of the healthy pavilion, the youth sports expo, and then even there was an adult basketball game.
Yes.
And it was a long weekend. It was 2 days. It was 2 weekends at one point in time.
Right.
And it just shows that there's this constant evolution of ideas and exchanges of ideas, which is how things get better.
Right.
So talk about some of the board members and how you guys work on this whole project and this whole program.
I have an amazing team, and they're just as, how can I say, they push the envelope, and they're not afraid to push the envelope, and it's a scary thing to kind of step out of your box and do something different than what you normally do. But just to mention my team, I will start with Jamie Lennon. Jamie Lennon, she's been on the team since 2012. She started out pretty much as volunteering her time on the day of as a vendor support. And now she's my treasurer. She's also a board member. She manages my vendors. She supports outreach. Then I have Nina Dawkins, who's everything to me and to this organization. And she has her own businesses, the Laugh Out Loud comedy. She serves as my entertainment chair and board member. I also have Cheryl Thomas. She's a new addition. Since this organization has grown the way it has, I needed an executive assistant. Mm-hmm. So she schedules all my appointments for me. She maintains the meetings, schedules meetings, and so forth. And she's been great. This is her first year. I also have Helen Jones Walker. Helen serves as my public relations person. And she is absolutely amazing, and this is her first year with us also. So like I said earlier, we're building up the team. In addition to that, I have Aziz Bey. He serves as my logistics coordinator. And then I have Mian Mambo. He came on this year along with Aziz, and Mian manages my website, my social media, and he's also created an app for me for the organization. It's called the Mercer Collabo app, and you can get everything Mercer County and Trenton on this app, and it's available on Android and on Google. Our other members include Regina Jackson. Regina handles all my volunteers, and she's also in charge of our Black History honorees and our community service awards. I know there's someone I'm forgetting, so please forgive me, guys, because I know you're listening, but it'll probably come to me later. But we have a great team of people, and we're constantly in contact with each other. We all work full-time jobs. We all have families, but we fight together to keep pushing forward. Mm-hmm. Oh, and I have one more, Key Jones. For some reason, I always forget Key. Keon Jones, he's actually a firefighter in the city. He came on this year, and he's managing our Youth Sports Expo, along with Jeraine Simmons. She began as a volunteer through Kingdom Church. They would come out and distribute waters and do pretty much whatever we needed. So now she's an executive committee member, and she manages my children's village and my healthy living pavilion.
That's fantastic. Mm-hmm. And great to you. Kudos to you, Latarsha, for running it off the top of your head, being able to bang everyone out. That's an executive director that's completely tied in. You know, every year when we have this conversation, I always like to ask you this question because I think it's very poignant and it's very important for people to understand. There is a reason why this is an African American cultural festival. It's a very inclusive event, but there's a specific reason why. Can you just elaborate on that?
Well, you know, in my day-to-day work, I work for the Division of Children and Families. And my passion, I've been working with at-risk youth and families for the last 20 years. And I've been in these homes. You know, most of us kind of look from the outside in, and kind of figure there's some things going on there, the effects of poverty and living in the inner city or urban communities and so forth. But just to be in these homes and just to see that these young people have not been exposed to anything, they haven't had the opportunity to see us as African American people come together to do something substantial and to organize and so forth. So, you know, my initial reason for becoming involved is because I was that kid at one time. I was raised in Jersey City. My mother, she really couldn't afford to take me to New York and take me to the museums and things like that. Her only concern was that I got a straight A's in high school and volunteered my time here and there and went on to college. So I want to bring something to the community that these young people and these families couldn't otherwise get to.
You know, oftentimes I'm in a position where people ask me questions, you know, and I've grown this exterior of not getting upset, you know, when people sometimes are ignorant or naive with the questions that they're asking. And I so appreciate anyone who wants to take their personal experiences and make a difference in the lives of other people, because that's how we're going to build a better community. And if that is not our focus, then what the H-E double hockey sticks are we even doing?
Yeah, why are we here?
Exactly. We've got a couple of minutes before we take a break, but can you share the contact information, please?
Yes, you can visit our website at taacf.com. You can contact us at 609-474-4073. And our email address is trentonaapride@gmail.com.
Awesome. Now, over the years, we've talked about a lot of the different things that the festival has needed, and there's always been a big focus on volunteers. Do you still need volunteers?
We always need volunteers. These events are a huge undertaking, and if you would like to volunteer, you can definitely call 609-474-4073, and you can can also visit our website again at taacf.com, and it has Regina Jackson's information on there regarding volunteers, and you can reach out to her, and we would love to have you.
Awesome. I'm speaking with Latarsha Williams-Burke, who is the Executive Director of the Trenton African American Cultural Festival, also known as the African American Cultural Collaborative of Mercer County, New Jersey. We're going to be discussing lots of different things, including the history, some programming, and what to expect from this year's event. You can visit the website taacf.com for all of the information. I was checking the website out earlier today, and you can actually see a bunch of videos and things that are up there and a lot of the promotional things, etc. And I encourage you to do that. And for the folks who are in the listening and viewing audience who may have some questions about an African American Cultural Fest and so forth, this is a wonderful event. I've attended every year, I think, except for one when I was away on vacation. It's another one of the series of events that take place in all of Mercer County. That's a wonderful time for people to come together, enjoy some great food, experience something that a lot of people have never experienced before. And again, I encourage you to do that. So make sure you go to the website, taacf.com, and you can find all the information there, and we'll be back after a very short break. You're listening and watching the Trenton 365 show, and I'm your host, Jacque Howard.
Have you ever needed help and not known where to find it? For more than a century, Catholic Charities Diocese of Trenton has been offering assistance to people of all faiths in central New Jersey. We envision a world where all people reach their full potential, achieve self-sufficiency, and live in a just, compassionate society. Our services include help with rent or utilities payments, financial counseling, family and individual counseling, substance abuse treatment, and domestic abuse prevention and treatment. For more information about our broad array of services, please visit us at www.catholiccharitiestrentton.org or call us at 1-800-642-0218. Many of our services are offered free or are based on ability to pay. This message is from Catholic Charities, renewing lives and restoring hope for more than a century.
And welcome back to the Trenton 365 show. You're watching over WPHY, Channel 25, covering all of Mercer County, New Jersey, listening over WIMG 1300, and the website for Trenton 365 is simply Trenton365.com. In the studio with me is Latarsha Williams-Burke, who is the Executive Director of the Trenton African American Cultural Festival, also known as the African American Cultural Collaborative of Mercer County, New Jersey. All the information of this interview and the history of the organization and what to expect from this year is available on the website taacf.com. So, Latarsha, you were talking earlier about your involvement, your personal involvement with the organization and the festival itself. Just talk a bit about the history of it and how it's evolved.
Okay. May of 2011, I read an article in the Trentonian published by L.A. Parker, and he put this article about wanting to do this event called the Pride Festival at Cadwater Park to bring families out, and he asked for volunteers and so forth. At this time, I was working my regular 9 to 5, but internally, I always felt like there was something missing, that it was something that I needed to do. And I never forget the day of the meeting. It took place at the Marriott at about 6 o'clock, and I'm sitting at home, and I told my husband about this event that I was thinking about volunteering for. I think I sat there until about 15 minutes before the meeting, trying to talk myself out of going, out of fear. So, I just said, God, what should I do? And at that moment, I just got this thing, just go. So I never forget walking into the hotel, and everyone was outside on the patio, and I walked in, and L.A. Parker was the first person I saw. And he said, "What do you have to offer?" And he put me on the spot in front of everybody. And I think it was like over 100 people out there at that time. And I was kind of stumped, and I said, whatever I can do, however I can help, I'm here. He was like, that's good enough. So at that moment, I joined the logistics team for the festival. And, you know, me and L.A., we haven't spoken in some time, but one thing that he said to me, and this was in the end of 2012, he said all he wanted to do was plant a seed. I didn't get it then, but I get it now. He said that was my purpose, planting a seed, and, you know, I feel like you can handle this. And I'm like, I don't know nothing about fundraising. I don't know anything about outreach. I don't know anything about managing a team of people, you know, but they voted me in, and I had to learn as I went along. And it's been rough. It's been rough. You know, I've had my highs, I've had my lows when I just didn't want to do it anymore. It was too much. It was, you know, interrupting my family life. I had to learn how to balance between the kids and running this organization. But I know that I could not have done it without the support of my husband. Because when I'm out here running around, going to all these meetings, doing interviews, and leaving early Saturday mornings to attend meetings before my kids wake up, my husband is there holding down the fort. So I have to definitely give it to him. But as far as this journey, and that's what I'm looking at it as now, it's a journey. And it has made me grow in ways that you cannot imagine. And I think like in 2011 I would be not sitting here just talking the way I am right now. But like I said, it's been 6 years we've been coming here to WIMG, who's been a sponsor and a major supporter of this event. Anytime we reach out, yes, Latarsha, whatever you guys need, we're there. We'll help you DJ. Steve is DJing for me on Saturday at the Jazz and Comedy Fest.
DJ Say What?
Yeah, DJ Say What is helping us out. So this has been a learning experience. It has tested me in ways that, I mean, it's been nice where I've just sat up and cried, you know, because I'm like, why me, you know? But I'm not a quitter. And I always feel like if we don't do it, who else is going to do it? You know, and I feel like the community looks forward to these events. And, you know, I always get a confirmation. This year, this young lady named Kiana reached out to me, and she said, you know, can I volunteer? I'm like, of course you can volunteer. And she was so enthusiastic on the phone. I said, you know, I need to meet you. So she attended our meeting, and she said, I've been coming to the festival for the last 5 years. And she said, I always wanted to know who did this. Mm-hmm. She said, now I see, I just want to be a part of it. So I said, well, you know, we're going to be recruiting new members after our strategic planning meeting. I said, but do you have a resume so we can look at what you do? She said, no, I didn't bring a resume. I didn't know this was going to be a real interview. I didn't know this was going to happen. So 2 weeks later, she inboxed me, and she created a 4-page resume of why she think that she would be a great addition to the festival. And she said to me, she said, Latarsha, it's a lot of people like me, you know, young, mid-20s, that really want to support their community, but they just don't know how. So just to think that our organization is a catalyst for young people to get involved, it's great. And we got our first intern this year we interviewed, and he's a public administration major at King University. So we got him kind of late in the year, but we're really going to kick him in for 2017. But I'm looking forward to, you know, working with interns now. So it's a steady process.
Mm-hmm. And you said a few things in there that I definitely want to draw attention to. Shout out to L.A. Parker for planting that seed. Anytime you're doing anything where there's going to be a lot of focus on you, mm-hmm. you're going to have people who are detractors and people who are supporters and people who are looking for something. Mm-hmm. And L.A., kudos to you for planting that seed for what I believe is allowing God to work through you to plant that seed and then to be able to pass that on. Because a lot of times when we create things, we feel as though it's our baby, it's mine.
Right.
I have to do it myself. So shout out to LA for doing that. Also your husband. Because again, being in the community and being actively engaged in your community, you have to have a support system. And a lot of times I don't think people really recognize how much we appreciate our spouses. Shout out to you, Vanessa, and Maddie as well. Stuff has to happen when you're not there, when I'm not there.
Right.
And you can't do it alone. And I appreciate the fact that you're giving him kudos.
Oh, yeah, Andre Burke.
There you go.
22 years in, met him in 94.
There we go. 22 years deep. So
Yes.
so that's all very important. And again, I think that's also part about telling the story.
Right.
Telling the story of who we are as people and the fact that, hey, you know what? This is the reality of our lives, and we have that foundation. We have that support system. We recognize that we can't do a lot of these things without the support, just like anybody else.
Right.
We are all the same, and we may not speak the same languages, we may not come from the same backgrounds, but we're all trying to achieve the exact same thing. I also appreciate the fact that the organization has gotten to the point where you now have an intern, and that means that generationally, the organization is passing on to another generation to pass that baton eventually to
Right.
take over and take the reins. So you're talking literally, technically 3 generations already in the works. And I think
yes.
that's fantastic. Can you share the contact information again and talk about how people can volunteer, et cetera?
Yes, you can reach us at 609-474-4073. You can visit our website at taacf.com. Via our website, you're able to see all of our events. You're able to donate. We're always looking for donations. You're able to volunteer through our website. You can apply to be a vendor at our events on our website. So everything is encompassed at taacf.com. And if you have additional questions, just give me a call. I'll pick up the phone and answer any question that you have.
Awesome. Now, for the folks who will be coming, maybe for the first time, what can they expect?
Well, this year, like I said, we ventured out of Cadwater Park this year. So our next event is Friday. It's our first Friday event that takes place directly after work from 5 to 9 p.m. And there's a chock full of entertainment, great people, great food via 1911 Smokehouse Barbecue. Just a great environment, a peaceful environment. And then the next day, we have a busy weekend. We're going to have the Jazz and Comedy Festival. This is the first annual. It would take place at Mill Hill Park from 2 to 8 p.m. And we are partnering with Laugh Out Loud, Yolanda and Landy. So we're going to have comedy, we're going to have live entertainment. I think we have the Renaissance Jazz Band, we have a Latino band, we have the Bob Smith Trio. It's just going to be a great day. We have vendors. Again, this is supported by the City of Trenton, who is supporting all of our events and has actually partnered to make this a part of their summer event series. In addition to that, Mercer County Parks and Recreation, they've supported us since 2011. They provide our message board, our marquee announcements throughout the city. They provided us with staging and a whole chock full of nuts of things to support us. 1911 Smokehouse Barbecue, CWA 1039. President Lionel Leach has always been very good to us. CWA 1033. They've sponsored every year for the last 4 years. We have Capital Health, who is also a sponsor, Walmart, Trenton First. So we have great support. But as you know, we're putting on, I think we're doing 5, 6, 7, about 10 events this year. That's a huge thing to bite off when you're used to doing like 3 major events. We're doing like 10 different events, and that includes the art exhibit at the City of Trenton Museum, the Against All Odds, Paul Robeson exhibit that will be up until September the 3rd. So we definitely need your support, we definitely need your donations, and we definitely need you to come out and volunteer.
That's fantastic. So again, folks, you can easily go to the website, www.taacf.com. You can find all the information there. You can donate, you can volunteer, you can see all the events, you can learn a bit about the history, and you can actually even see some videos and promotional things as well, see the list of sponsors, etc. So, Latarsha, in addition to having people come out, volunteer, and support the organization with time, talent, and treasures, where do you see the organization and the event going in the very near future? Because I know it's been evolving every year, so I'm sure that next year is going to look different than this year.
My team thinks I have mental health issues. So I'm sure they don't want to hear me putting something else out there that we're going to do. But my focus is going to be, first and foremost, the 2017 Trenton African American Cultural Fest. My next focus will be building upon our Youth Sports Expo, because I believe we really need to also focus in on these kids, the issue of childhood obesity within our community, and get parents and their children to engage in activities together. But in addition to that, I would love to continue First Fridays. I think it's a great thing for downtown, and to also continue our Jazz Fest. But I'm looking to get out to Hamilton. I'm looking to get out to East Windsor. I don't know at what level yet, but my eye is on that right now.
Fantastic. Latarsha Williams Burke, thank you again for coming on to the Trenton 365 show. You're listening and watching the Trenton 365 show over WIMG and WPHY Channel 25, serving all of Mercer County. I'm your host, Jacque Howard, and we'll be back later, friends. Thanks.
You have a car or truck you really love? I have one exactly like it. If anything happened to my baby, like a blown engine, a failed transmission, or the AC went out, I don't know what I'd do or how I'd pay for it. Well, I just learned about coverage you can get for those unexpected budget-breaking auto repairs. This coverage is the most affordable, complete car repair coverage, and it's month to month. They can save you thousands of dollars. Monthly auto protection is for car owners just like us. Our cars are 3 to 10 years old and have less than 125,000 miles on them. Monthly auto protection is so confident you'll benefit from your coverage. If you call now, they're offering the 6-month free for a limited time. That's right, the 6-month is free. Call right now for this radio-only, risk-free offer. 800-706-7063, 800-706-7063, 800-706-7063, 800-706-7063.
Need a truck to move? Let Justin's Rental of Selman's Eagle save the day. Justin's has the right trucks for all commercial and residential moves. Justin's has the moving supplies and boxes available. Justin's Rental at Selman's Eagle has everything you need for your move at affordable prices, featuring the best in pickup trucks, 10 and